No, my point is, I don't think they should have shut down the Crickets Fight Club.
I was a big fan myself.
All right. Hey, everybody, welcome.
I'll just go with you that.
I know. I did not expect that at all. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Laugh and Be Blessed with your host, Jake and Chia Rubel.
And Chia.
And Chia sounds good.
I do.
You know why Chia sounds good?
I have my own mic. Thank you, Patreon.
Yeah, thanks to Patreon, Chia has her own mic now.
do.
So we can both sound a little bit more newsworthy, you know?
Are you saying I didn't sound good before?
I didn't sound good. You sounded great.
Oh, okay.
You know,
that makes
it
sense.
was always one of us could sound good and the other one would just sound like complete train wreck garbage
That's
trash.
always you.
If it's gonna be one of us, it's going to be me, 100%.
100%.
We're happy that you're here with us on this very special episode of Laugh and Be Blessed.
So special.
Because we have
A new microphone.
And it's like, if this is the first time you listen to the podcast, that may not be a big deal for you.
Yeah.
It's a very big deal for us.
It is. We've been talking about it a long time.
Yeah. We started this podcast with one microphone. We were laying in bed with a microphone in between us and was just talking to each other. That's how the podcast started. And now we are just at the foot of our bed at a table with two microphones.
Table.
At a card table with
Yeah.
two microphones. Dreams do come true, ladies and gentlemen.
They do.
Just listen up, folks. If you want, folks.
I thought you meant to say it like that. So I was just going with it.
No, I meant to say folks. That's a weird word.
Folks.
Yeah, all right. So we're excited to be here. Let's talk about a couple things. Let's talk about what happened over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into that. So on Friday,
We had a busy weekend.
We had a very busy weekend. It was a great weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of fun. Friday night, I went to Gutty's Comedy Club and did their stand-up for sobriety show. Mm-hmm. And I was happy to be a part of it. I was just kind of thinking about it earlier. This is my 13th year sober. And I say 13 years because you say it's 13 years. I don't know for sure, but it sounds right.
Yeah, because it's probably been a little bit longer than that, but I know you didn't drink once we were married.
Right.
So, yeah. We've been married 13 years, so
I
that's
think
what I go off of.
I was sober a little bit before, but I know I drank like one or two beers after I got sober. Like there was a couple times where I slipped up. So that's why I say 13, because I think 13's since I've not had any alcohol or drugs. It's been 13 years.
Yeah.
So I was very happy to be a part of the Stand Up for Sobriety show at Gutty's Comedy Club. So thank you, Steve and Dennis, for allowing me to do that, and also stank you. I just want to stank you.
Just stank on it.
I want to just stank you, Rob Wilfong. Thank you, Rob Wilfong, for asking me to be a part of the show. Rob's the one who kind of, I think, put everything together and reached out to the comics. So he has a last name that I feel like has to be a comedian's name.
Yeah.
Wilfong.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's just a great comedian last name. And Rob's a great guy. If you don't know who Rob is, anyone listen to this, if you've never heard of Rob Wilfong, you should definitely go to one of his shows. He is very unique. I've never seen another comedian like him, and he's a fantastic guy. I really, really like him. So, and then I met a couple of other people. There was Jeff. I'm horrible with names. Jeff Nance, I think is his last name. Really nice guy. I've met him a few times doing open mics in Indianapolis, and he's a really, really nice guy. He sent me I guess I could look at his message. He sent me a very nice message today that was, we talked a little bit about music, and I talked about Billy Strings. Yeah, it's Jeff Nance, Jeffrey Nance. I talked a little bit about Billy Strings and how his album, which is one of my, probably since Neil Young's Harvest, or like my two favorite albums is Neil Young's Harvest and Alice in Chains Unplugged. Those are probably the two albums I've listened to the most in my life. And also, I guess, the Into the Wild soundtrack. Those are all fantastic albums. And then Billy Strings came out with an album called Home, and I listened to it so many times. And then it won a Grammy. And I was so excited. I was so happy because I've been waving the Billy Strings flag for a couple of years now. So that was really, really cool that, like, now mainstream people are like, oh yeah, have you heard of Billy Strings? And I'm like, yes, I'm so happy that you have too. Because I'm not going to be one of these people that's just like, oh, I've liked Billy Strings like since way back when. So you're not even cool, bro. I'm not going to be one of those people.
I know a few people like that.
Yeah, yeah. We were just talking about him like 10 minutes ago.
We're thinking about the same person.
So
we're not bad people, I swear.
Jeff sent me like a really nice message about something called Bluegrass Underground that's on PBS. So I'm gonna check that out a little bit more. So that was great to be with Jeff, and then there was another comedian. I think it was. I want to say that it was like his first time doing like a non-open mic show, I think is what he said, which was really, really cool. His name's Chad. I'm such a jerk. Chad Harmon was his name. Mm-hmm. And he did great. He opened up the show. He did really, really good. And then our host of the night was my friend Emmanuel T. Emmanuel's so funny. And not only is he's such a good guy. I just really, really like hanging out with him. And we'll talk more about him in a minute. So he was the host of the show. And then the headliner, or the guy who closed the show out, I guess you could say, is a guy named Jay Armstrong. Mm-hmm. And I guess Jay, and he's got a really cool story. We talked a little bit in the green room about, like, in the late 90s, he was like, yeah, in the late 90s, I just decided I was going to be a homeless drug addict in San Francisco. Okay. And I was like, I bet the stories you have are amazing. Yeah. So we've kind of been talking through Messenger a little bit because he took some pictures at the show, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, those are really good pictures.
Yeah, they're really good. So I'm actually talking to him about maybe...
Did he do this with his phone or a camera?
No, a camera. He's got a Canon camera, kind of like mine. It's a little bit different, but it's the lens, he said. Ah. But he said the lens on the camera costs more than the actual camera.
Oh, wow.
So I guess that's the whole thing. So
gotcha.
So the stand-up for sobriety show was great. I'll tell you something that was really funny that happened at the show was we were in the green room, and then I went out because I wanted to check, because there was a few people that were supposed to be there, and I just wanted to go see if they were there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to make it because I'm just not important enough. I'm totally kidding. I think they all four listen to this. So I was just joking. I love you guys. I went out to just check and kind of see how the room was and everything. And on my way back, there was this guy, and he was like, "Hey, Zeus." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And he goes, "Hey, Zeus." And I was like, "No, I'm not Jesus, man." I was like, "I'm not Jesus, man. Sorry." I was like, "I look like I should be." And then I kind of blew him off, not like on purpose, but the show was starting, so I had to get backstage. Yeah. So I didn't really blow him off. It was just more of like I didn't spend time talking. Yeah.
You were short.
Exactly. He was tall. So I'm average. So I went.
At best.
Calm down. I went backstage, did the show, and I didn't do a lot of my normal jokes because I'm trying to like do some new stuff and change my setup a little bit. At the end of the show, I was standing outside, and that guy came up to me with 3 other people. Mm-hmm. It was his wife and a couple that they had brought to the show. And they went up and they were like, "Hey, Jake, it's so good to see you again." And I was like, "Oh, hey, guys." And I kind of recognized them, like they looked familiar. Yeah. Well, it turns out they go to Gutty's all the time. Mm-hmm. So they're there a lot. And they've seen me a bunch of times there. Okay. Which I always feel weird about because I'm like, well, then you've heard a lot of my stories and stuff. Turns
Apparently
out they like it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, well, you didn't do some of your jokes. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm trying out some new stuff. I'm sorry. And they're like, yeah, you didn't do your Vietnam Jesus joke. And I was like, oh, hey Zeus. I was like, that makes so much sense. I felt bad, so I gave him merch for free. I gave him a free koozie.
Good. You should feel bad.
I did. I felt really bad.
It was like, oh, this is a really funny little joke.
I know. And then I was like, no way,
and
dude.
It's not me. And this comedian didn't catch it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, so that was cool. And it was fun because they brought their friends. And they're like, yeah, we brought them out to see you, and we were really excited, and then you didn't do some of your jokes, so whenever you got off stage, we were telling them all the jokes that you didn't do. And I was like, this is probably funnier coming from you guys, let's be honest. So that was a really good show. And then And then the next night, Saturday night, we drove down to Evansville to do a show for a booker down there named Josh Turley, who is a really good booker. He puts on some really good shows. This one wasn't the best show, but it wasn't the worst. Like it was a completely okay show.
Yeah, it didn't make me.
It was fun.
Uncomfortable. I've been to shows that I've been like,
yeah, like you feel bad.
I'm like, I need to leave.
Yeah, it was nothing like that. It was it was just not. I mean, the night before I was in a theater doing a show.
Yeah.
And then
different feel.
So it's funny too because I was in a theater doing a sobriety show. And then the next night, I'm in a dark bar doing a show for people getting drunk. It's comedy, but it was great. The thing that made it really fun is that we drove down with Emmanuel. He was on the show, and Grant Volkmar was on the show, and I love those guys so much. Like they made it so fun driving down, and then hanging out at the show and kind of cutting up, and it was just a really weird crowd that was there. So. That kind of made it a weird show. It was, like, the crowd wasn't bad by any means. They just, instead of laughing, they would just kind of, like, smile and nod their head. But I think it was because it was just, a weird night.
Well, and a lot of this, like, I was laughing more than I think they knew I was laughing, but I had my mask on. Mm-hmm. And so...
because that makes it weird.
I don't always have a super loud laugh. And you guys had the speakers right by you.
That's true.
So I don't know. There was more laughs than they were thinking they were getting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. And then at the end of the show, and I got to see a couple people there's a guy named Mike Wells that's out of Dayton, Ohio, and I got to see him. And we've only met a couple times at open mics, so that was cool to hang out with him after the show. And met a couple other comics, and at the very end of the show, one of the comics almost fought a guy.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was fun. I loved that because I had nothing to do with it. So I just
standing by watching.
Yeah, and then but Josh, I'll tell you what, Josh is really, the booker is really impressing me. The way that he's, he's getting better lighting. He's making sure that the sound system is good. He's got nice intro music now. Like he's doing legit shows.
Well, that's where someone really wants to be professional is after every show he's like, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what am I going to change, and then he does it.
And he's been doing really good with it. So I'm looking forward to doing more shows with him. I think that was his last show. I don't know if this is like common knowledge, but okay, shouldn't have told me, bro. I have a podcast that tens of people listen to. But I think that's the last time he's going to be at that location. So he's got a couple other things he's going to start working on. And then on the way back home, we just almost died a bunch of times.
Yeah. That was an interesting ride home. It was a fun ride home, and it was all good until it started raining. And then it was one of the worst rainstorms we have ever had to drive in. Yeah. Luckily, it was super late, so not a lot of people were on the road. Because half the time I was like, can you even see
it was rough to see driving? Sometimes.
And then there's one point where off in the not very far distance as we're approaching, it looked very foggy, but there was almost like a blue light in the sky. And when I seen it at first, I kind of just stared at it, and I thought, is there something on the windshield? Is the windshield just getting foggy, and now there's this weird, glare? And I looked at it for a minute, and then as we approached it, at the same time, all four of us said, whoa!
Yeah,
and
apparently
what's that? Everyone in the car seen the same thing I did, and none of us said anything. Because we were like, I feel like this is a ghost we're approaching. Something's going on.
Yeah, it was weird because it was just in the middle of the road.
It was so
It was
weird.
just a big white cloud, right in the middle. Yeah. And then as soon as we drove into it, you couldn't see anything. It's just white. I had to stop in the middle of the interstate.
Yeah, Jake, you braked, and we all said, whoa, at the same time.
Did you take so long because you were like, what? Is it broke?
Yeah.
Is that why you took so long?
Did you broke or break?
He was breaking it. I think he was breaking it in the middle of the broke.
But we survived.
Yeah, we got home. So it was a good weekend.
Yeah.
I had fun.
I had a busy weekend too. I'm in a weird place at work right now. I'm homeless again. So I work at the rehab unit at work. And when COVID hit, it kind of shook things up. So last March, we shut our unit down, and I had to be moved to a different unit for a few months. And then when we opened my unit back up, I thought, oh, great, we're going to go back to having rehab patients. And rehab for my unit is not like drug rehab. It's, physical therapy and occupational speech therapy. So a little different rehab than some people might be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, oh, we'll go back and it'll be great. So I get back on the first day we're open and find out that one hallway is, in fact, rehab, but the other hallway is a med-surg unit, which is the kind of unit that I had been loaned out to for a few months. So I was like, oh, okay. And I thought we'd go on like that for a while and then go back to rehab. And we did go on like that for a while. And then we went completely med-surg, so I had no more rehab patients. And I was like, okay, well, this is still different than what I'm supposed to be doing, but that's fine. And then on April 5th, we are opening back up as rehab. So I was super excited. I thought we'll ride this out. And then because of just needing to deep clean the unit and get it set back up for rehab and staffing issues, we shut down again. So,
yay!
So for the past 2 weeks, I've been back on the previous unit that I had been loaned to, and I am there for another week. And then I should be back on rehab. So I've been shuffled around quite a bit because of COVID, but that's fine. Everyone's life has been disrupted due to COVID. But I just worked 4 days in a row this week, and being on a different unit, and they do things a little different, and some of the patients there are sicker than what I had on my unit, even when I had med-surg. It's a little bit more draining. So when I came home on Friday, I had all this stuff that I thought I needed to do, and I was just going to stay up for a few more hours, and Jake was like, no, just go to sleep with me. And I thought, okay. So I went to sleep at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. And I did not wake up until 4 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
I slept 18 hours. There was a little bit of time where I woke up because Jake was at his show on Friday. So the kids came in the bedroom and hung out and watched TV in here. And they're like, Mom, what's for dinner? And I was like, I don't know. What are you going to make yourself?
Yeah, go make a pizza, kid.
So they did. And I got up and helped them a little bit with like the pizza and stuff. But for the most part, I slept. And I needed it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, because the rest of the weekend.
I had a great weekend.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got up 4 a.m. on Saturday and just kind of spent some time by myself and read. And then about 8 o'clock in the morning, I went to the vet to get our dog Wishbone's ashes and set up some appointments. And then I came home and I was like, man, I don't want to waste this day. I feel really good and energetic. So the kids are still asleep because, it's Saturday. And it's like 9 o'clock. And I wake Jasmine up. And I was like, Jasmine, wake up. And she didn't want to wake up. And she's like, oh, no. And I was like, come on, wake up. Let's go shoe shopping. And she goes, okay.
Yeah.
And she got up. So I took her shopping. And then we came back and got the boys and went to lunch. And went to the park. And then I came home and rested for a little bit. And then I went to the show with Jake. And
it was a good weekend. I was glad that you, like I
today-
said, I'm glad that you actually was hibernating for a while so you could spend time with us and good times. So.
Sunday was great too because we went to church and then we went shopping with the kids and went and got my spray tan.
Went out to eat with some friends.
Yep.
And we don't do that
great.
we
No.
never do that anymore, so that was nice.
Oh no one does that anymore.
So so that was our weekend. It was good. Like I said, I had some great shows and I have some really fun shows coming up too. So I'm going to be at the Comedy Attic April 9th and 10th. So that's just coming up in a couple weeks, actually. I'm really excited.
I need to buy my tickets.
Yeah, so a buddy of mine, Dusty Slay from Nashville, Tennessee, one of the funniest comedians working today. He is my favorite comedian that's working today, so I'm super blessed to be able to call him a friend. As long as, his healing, I know he just had to have emergency surgery, so, say some prayers for him. He's still healing. But he is going to be at the Comedy Attic April 9th and 10th. There's 4 shows that he's going to be there for, so 2 shows a night. And you're going to love it. Go to the show. He's so funny. I'm excited. I'm going to do a guest spot, so I'm just going to do, just a few minutes up top. But that's awesome. I'm so stoked to do this. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm super excited.
So that's coming up April 9th and 10th, get those tickets. And then I'm going to be back at Getty's Comedy Club. I'm going to be featuring for Robert G. Lee on April 30th. Robert G. Lee is very funny. He's been doing comedy a long time. He is somebody that I'm really, really excited to work with. I can't wait to meet him and hang out backstage and just kind of talk to him a little bit about comedy. And from what I'm to understand, he's a great resource to just kind of bounce things off of and talk with. So I'm stoked to do that. So that's going to be on April 30th at Getty's Comedy Club. You can just go to gettyscomedyclub.com to get tickets for that. And then I will be at Black Circle Brewing. Brewery.
Can you talk
I
today?
can't. And I don't, I'm not even going to try to anymore. I'm going to be at Black Circle Brewing? I don't know. It's Black Circle in Indianapolis, Indiana, April 25th. It's called The Sunday Show. It is showcasing some of the best comics in Indianapolis. I've seen some, and not just Indy, but surrounding states as well. They've had some people from like New York pop in. This is a great show. I am honored to be on it. So it is a free show.
Nice.
Go to it. So if you're around Indianapolis anyways, they do these. I don't know if it's every Sunday or not. I feel like it's every Sunday. But yeah, just check it out on Facebook. Tyson Cox shares a lot of the stuff, and he's a very funny indie comic. He shares a lot of stuff on Facebook, so check that out. So that's going to be Sunday, April 25th. I will be there. And yeah, so those are some fun shows coming up. Then I have some stuff that I'm working on for May as well. So yeah, so April's pretty much almost every weekend in April's booked out now because we are going to be in South Carolina one of those weekends.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's what's been going on. Now you said you're reading. Let's talk about reading. You know what I need to do?
What?
Is figure out some transition music for like reading. And then transmission. What is wrong with me? I need a transmission because I want to go from 0 to 60 real quick, baby. And then there's like some transitional music for like, what we're watching on TV. And maybe even like the shows that I've had go. I don't know. But I feel weird if I reach back out to the guy who keeps giving us all this free music.
He's hearing you now, so.
I'll edit this out. I won't.
Okay.
But Michael, you don't have to do it. If you want to, I'm not going to stop you because you're an amazing musician. But I wasn't saying that like, let's see if we can get some more freebies from this guy. I'm going to give him a shirt. I think he's coming to one of the Dusty Slay shows, so
okay.
I'll figure out what size t-shirt he is.
There
He's got to
you go.
get something.
There you go.
Right? So anyways, you've been reading Florence Nightingale.
Yes.
You're getting your books in for Women's Appreciation Month.
Yes, I am. Do you know who Florence Nightingale is?
She was a nurse who, like, the system that's kind of set up now for, like, clean stuff. Like, she set up, like, this is how we are clean nurses, how to keep people from, like, getting infections and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah.
What up?
I didn't know you would know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Come
I'm
on,
reading
girl.
Florence Nightingale.
Hey.
I am proud of you.
Look
I'm
how big
so
this head
proud
is.
of
Look
you.
how big this head is.
I really
There's
am.
so many brains in it.
When you said a nurse, I was like, okay, it's probably going to stop there. But
No, man, I use this gray matter.
So Florence Nightingale, The Courageous Life of the Legendary Nurse. It's a really, really good book. I chose this book because I'm a nurse. There we go. That
The way
right
you
off
just
the top.
but the way you just said that was like I felt like it was you were on like a game show or something, like a reality show, and you're like, I chose this book because really I'm a nurse, and I felt like you know what I'm saying. Whenever there's just like I chose this charity because it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
See, I'm a professional.
Yeah, you're very good at this.
But I'm a nurse and a woman. There we go. There's two. But the third is a Christian as well. And Florence Nightingale started. She wanted to become a nurse. It wasn't. How do I want to say? It wasn't the esteemed career that it is today. It was like a woman's dirty job. So if you were like high class or even middle class, you weren't supposed to be a nurse. But she said she felt like God reached out to her and said it was her calling, and it's all she could think about it. So
was she like high class?
She was middle class.
She's middle class.
Middle class.
Okay.
But so yes, the the way nursing is viewed today really built off of what Florence Nightingale did. Used to, when you were being cared for in any kind of hospital or facility like that, everything was dirty. It was nasty. She said she would walk in these hospitals and just the smell alone would make her stomach turn. Just bedpans not being clean, people being overcrowded in rooms, the smell of infection because wounds weren't being cleaned properly. And she thought that a change needed to be made, and she's absolutely right, because the way that we treat infection and keep people from getting infections is cleanliness.
Right.
So, I mean, you think today everything in an OR has to be completely sterile. You know, you're not going to be cut on by a scalpel that someone just, you know, that a surgeon just used on someone else, but that's what they would do. So, a lot of...
And that's all because that's like what she...
Yeah, she started that revolution right there. So I'm reading that, and then I'm up to 12 out of 15 books to be read this year.
Jeez.
I read, now 4 of those were real quick little romance novels, but I do like them.
You know, but that's the same as me reading, like, a graphic novel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, does it count? Sure.
And I read those on my phone, so I really don't know how... I mean, they're like usually 35 to 40 chapters, but I don't know how...
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You okay?
Yeah. I don't know how, like, thick of a book that actually is. But, so when I finish this, and I should finish this tonight, that'll be my 13th book. And then my wonderful, wonderful colleagues at work have put me in quite a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, because you have to read this next one.
So I'm already reading books that are not on my to-be-read list, which I feel like I'm kind of safe because I got time.
Yeah. Don't get cocky.
So that's true.
You know?
I need to calm down.
Ninja kicked the bunny.
But last year I only got to 12. So I'm already doing
better. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
better.
great.
So I got Florence Nightingale from the library, and at the same time I got...
Now, what's Florence Nightingale about?
Shut up. But the other book I got is one of my Wizard of Oz books, the ones that I said... So it's the books that I said when I was a kid that I was going to read this entire series, and then I didn't. And I guess since it was a goal from childhood, I have to finish it up. And I do like them. So I was going to read that book next. However, my wonderful colleagues have decided we are circulating a book called Kill Shot. And I guess it's a book about a pharmaceutical company, and it's called A Shadow Industry, A Deadly Disease. I guess there was this pharmaceutical company that had this big scam that it was exploited. So I have to read that because it went from, I think I am the third coworker to get it, but there's a fourth waiting for it.
You'll read it pretty quick, though.
Well, that's what they told me. They said it's a quick read, so.
That's nice. So I'm still reading Stephen King's Wizard and Glass.
How many books have you read this year?
How many books have I read? Let's check.
Yeah.
I'm also reading through Preacher Volume 1, which is a graphic novel. It's a pretty big graphic novel, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it's like, it takes a lot of
Is it the one sent over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Yeah, so I've read 6 books.
6? Okay.
Yeah, so not the best, but...
Well, it's because you read these
I know, I read
1,000-page books. I don't, and I know I've said this before, if it's more than 400 pages, I'm like, make
I don't
extra
know.
books.
I don't know. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Right now, it's just kind of rough because usually once you hit about the middle of a Stephen King book, not all of them, like Salem's Lot was fantastic the whole way through. You would love Salem's Lot. That's the one Stephen King book that I think you would really dig because it's vampires.
Yeah.
So
I will read a Stephen King book one day.
And I think that's probably the one that I'm going to get you to read because it's really good. But I mean, there's a lot of them that I really do like. It's just it's such a goal of mine to read all the Dark Tower books, but it's so daunting because they're so big.
Has this one picked up?
Not really.
No.
Kind of. It's like a flashback thing. So I'm just like stuck in this flashback that I just don't care about. I'm like, I just want to get back to their reality. So
I forgot to mention I also finished Ready Player 2.
Oh, I think we talked about that last.
Did we?
I think we have talked about
remember.
that. I can't remember for sure, but I feel like we did talk about that. And yeah, I love that book.
Last week was so long ago.
Yeah, it was really good. Well, we had Steve.
Yeah, so I don't think we really talked about books other than him not reading.
Right. So, which we'll release the second half of the Steve Porter invasion later. It'll be like a bonus episode.
There we go.
So we're gonna do. So I'm still finishing up Preacher. I want to finish that book. That's one of the ones that's on my to read list. So, and then as far as like watching, like what we've been watching. See, this is where it'd be cool. Just be like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like we transition fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just want to be so professional that people are like, who is this guy? Who's this lady and who is this guy?
Yeah, but don't you think part of our appeal is that we're just like real chill and we're like, eh?
I don't know. I mean, so anyways, what we've been watching is I've been watching Sons of Anarchy again, and I don't know. I know. Here's my biggest issue with Sons. Now, I am completely aware that this is a man soap opera.
Yes.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with my viewing sexuality. I don't know how to say it. The shows a lot of times I watch shows that most men probably do not watch. Like I recently bought the first season of Degrassi: The Next Generation.
Yeah, we never finished it.
No, we didn't. I love that show. And I watched all of My So-Called Life again recently. I'll watch a bunch of different things.
You know what
and
the
I'm okay with
best
it.
thing about Degrassi is?
Seeing Drake.
Like, Jimmy can walk now.
Jimmy can walk now, exactly.
I don't know who this Drake character is.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, the rapper Drake was a child star on a show called Degrassi: The Next Generation in Canada. So he, in the show, no spoilers, but in the show something happens, because you guys all need to go watch it.
Yeah, you do.
No spoilers from the 90s or early 2000s, whenever it was
You
out.
haven't viewed Degrassi yet.
At one point, Jimmy, a.k.a. Drake, is in a wheelchair.
Yes. And that's how we knew him.
So when we first seen Drake, we were just like, Jimmy can walk. So anyways, I've been rewatching Sons. Here's something really funny that we talk about a lot. Sons of Anarchy is a really good show, I feel like.
I like it.
If you talk to certain people who are Harley enthusiasts, they mock the show.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man, everyone who watches that show, like, they're posers and stuff. And it's just like, I don't care. You call me a poser.
What do you mean poser? Because we like it. So, because I love The Godfather, I'm a poser. Like, I think I'm in the mafia.
That's my thing. It's just like, it's just a TV show about, a society that I have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. If I watched Sons of Anarchy and then I got a leather vest that had the Reaper on the back of it.
Yeah.
And I started, doing everything that they do.
Yes.
Then I'd be like, okay, well because that's gonna. But at the same time, why is that not okay? People wear Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles t-shirts all the time.
You're wearing a Grateful Dead shirt right now.
Exactly. So like, there might be. I wear Reapers on my shirt sometimes.
But here's the thing.
So who cares? If somebody likes it that much, if it brings them joy and happiness. Now there is a danger to it if you wear a vest that is just, it says like Sons of Anarchy MC on it, and it says like 1%er on it and stuff, and you go into a neighborhood that is ran by a legit biker club.
Yeah.
They will make you take that off or you're going to get beat down.
Yeah.
There are stories of guys who just didn't know any better wearing it that are like, dude, don't do this again. Like, we earned the right to wear this patch. You just watched the TV show. I get that side of it. So maybe don't go all out. But yeah, if you're wearing a hoodie or something like that because it's a TV show you love, who cares? I don't know why people care.
I really don't know either. It baffles me that people spend so much time being so negative towards others.
I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier, though. Like, there's just some people sometimes that like to be like, I liked that before it was cool.
Yeah.
Or, like, no, this is my thing and you can't have it. So it's like if they're a motorcycle enthusiast, they're like, yeah, but then once Sons of Anarchy came out, tons of people started acting like they ride Harleys or they ride motorcycles
maybe people
or whatever.
didn't realize how much they would like a bike until
Exactly.
they watched it, and they're like, oh, maybe
Well,
I
not
would
just
like
that, not just that, but then like if more people are into the thing that you're into, guess what?
Yeah.
You'll get more of that thing because
Yeah.
then the people who make that thing know they can make more money off of it.
Exactly.
So like for me, whenever that kind of stuff happens with me, I'm stoked.
Well, it's like when you talk about these remakes of certain cartoons like DuckTales and stuff, and people get mad, and you're like, you realize it's not for us.
Right.
We already like it.
Exactly.
Now they're trying to hit a different market, but now because they have hit a different market for our kids, not only are we going to get more of that item, but they're going to go back to the retro stuff too.
And then now there's DuckTales t-shirts coming
Yeah.
out and all. So I like
Look
it.
at all the finding superhero t-shirts is so easy now.
So I mess up a word and you call me out, but you say superhero.
I don't know what you heard, but I said superhero.
You're like superhero.
Maybe that's what's wrong. Is something's wrong with your hearing,
Maybe.
and it's making you say things wrong.
I did spend time. I did
enunciate
spend time.
Fine.
You what? You can't even say the word.
You say the word.
Enunciate?
Enunciate. I did say it.
Enunciate.
Enunciate.
You don't have to like eat the mic whenever you laugh.
You told me to be right up on it.
Yeah, I know. So, but that's my thing is I like it. Like I like whenever they redo stuff because the thing that really kills me is when they're like, you shouldn't touch it, leave it alone. I'm like, look, the thing that's going to happen is they're going to put out something that you may not like. The worst case scenario is you don't like that thing and then just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Just because something else came out doesn't mean the original thing goes away. You still have that original thing. I don't get why people freak out about it. Like whenever they did DuckTales or Ninja Turtles has been rebooted so many times.
Yeah.
And then you always see people, or a great example of this is Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Like whenever the prequels came out, people hated it. And still to this day, people just trash it. And I'm like, yeah, but you realize there's an entire generation of people who love those movies because they were children when they came out. And those movies were made for those kids because George Lucas wanted an entirely new generation of people to like his movies. And it worked. The kids that grew up.
Oh, Roman, the character people complain the most about is Jar Jar Binks.
Roman
loves him because it was created
it's his favorite.
for him.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks is his favorite Star Wars character. And that's fine. Who cares? Like, if you don't like him, that's fine. Oh, he ruined the movies. No, he didn't. It's not for you, man.
I'm
and even
very
the new,
childish. I like him.
And even the new Star Wars movies, that the ones that came out the most recent, people even hated on those. And I'm like, they did such a good job of tying in, of throwing in enough stuff that I liked it because it was nostalgic, but then also new stuff for my kids. Like, it was a perfect blending. People just can't be happy,
No,
you know?
they
And
can't.
here we are being negative and complaining about people complaining. So it's just a never-ending cycle.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah. So,
But-
speaking of which, this is a really good time for us to get into mental health check-in.
All right.
And now it's time for a mental health check-in.
All right, I'm going to be honest. Mentally, I have been doing fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been doing so good. I've been feeling... Now, last week, for whatever reason, my sleep schedule was so messed up that
Grouchy.
I was sleeping so weird, and it was like I would only sleep like 2 or 3 hours at a time and then have to get up and do stuff. And then I didn't get any of my articles done, so I'm a week late on my articles. Hopefully I still have a job.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
But yeah, just for whatever reason, I just could not get motivated to do anything. And I was worried that I was becoming depressed again. But luckily, nope. I just kind of worked really hard to not go down that route, and I've been feeling really, really good. I got a couple messages actually this weekend from people who are dealing with just different mental issues. They're dealing with, depression. Somebody reached out to me that seemed like they were, without saying they were suicidal, I feel like they were trying to tell me that they were feeling suicidal. They were just kind of saying that they felt very lost, they felt very hopeless and stuff. And we had a really good...
You can have suicidal ideation without being suicidal.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't know exactly what the plan was there. And I've not even talked to this guy in years. It's been a really long time since I've talked to this person. So just the fact that they felt comfortable enough to reach out to me was kind of cool. I'm not a counselor. I can't help them, any way like that. So basically what I just did was I told him some things that worked for me. I gave him some recommendations, and then I gave him the phone number of a professional counselor who's become an acquaintance of mine. Actually, it's the guy who owns and runs Serenus.
Oh, okay.
So gave him his cell phone number, and they reached out. So I'm hoping that something happens there, and that's somebody who we still really want to get on the podcast, because I just feel like that would be a great tool for us to have. It's laugh and be blessed. That would be a blessing to have him on. So we're still kind of working out the details there. But yeah, I felt like I've been feeling really good, and then just getting that and kind of like having to be clear-headed to like give that advice was nice. Just to me be like, well, I can't be a hypocrite. I can't be like, well, this is what you should do if I'm not doing it.
Yeah. So
that was kind of nice. And then I did get a couple other messages from people that were asking for some advice, and if I can help, I'm glad to help. I'm just not a professional. I have done counseling, but that was one of the my issues with religion, is that I was pushed into this counseling position kind of that I should never have been in without any kind of education whatsoever.
No training, right.
But yeah, and that's another thing, is that like spiritually I've been feeling really good.
Yeah.
I've been feeling like I am trying to get I wouldn't say like trying to get back into like religion per se, but I'm definitely trying to be more okay with the idea of church and with the idea of religion, with all that stuff, without losing the ground that I feel like I've gained spiritually, or my relationship with God that independently I've gained here lately. So how have you been feeling?
So I had a bit of a rough week. I really think my problem was sleep. I was feeling like, I doubt myself as a mom all the time, but I always want to do things with the kids. And they had their spring break last week, the week before, and I took 5 nights off in a row. I thought, this is gonna be great. We're gonna do so much stuff, and we did do stuff, but not like I wanted, because I was still on like a partial night schedule, so I wasn't waking up till like noon or 1, and then I just felt like real sluggish and awful, and I just think it's because I need to catch up on sleep. Supposedly, you can't catch up on sleep. I don't believe that, because this weekend proved that I slept 18 hours and I felt amazing. I felt better than I have in a really long time. So I think that was just the problem, is I haven't been getting adequate sleep, and then it makes me feel sluggish, and then I don't do the things I want to do with the kids, and then I feel like a crap mom, and it's just a vicious cycle. So, but right now I feel phenomenal. I feel great, and I feel talking about spirituality, I feel better spiritually as well. Reading this book on Florence Nightingale, it's really helped me, because I used to struggle a lot growing up, and anyone who grows up, at least in Christianity, I don't know if other religions are like this, but in Christianity, you're always taught everyone has a ministry. But you are led to believe often that is within the church. So I always felt like there was stuff I wanted to be involved in, but I worked a lot too, and I always felt like I was giving and giving and giving, and never having time for myself. And what I figured out a year or so ago is that every time I walked into work, every time I walked in the hospital, I felt like I was in church. And reading this book has really helped me realize that your ministry or your purpose doesn't have to be confined to one certain place or what others' ideas are. So my ministry is being a nurse. It is caring for others. And I think your ministry is bringing joy to people.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is when you find your purpose, you can't put yourself in the box that other people want to put you in. You can't say, well, my purpose in life or my ministry in life has to be confined to this building and what these people's ideals are, what society's ideas are of what is important.
Right.
We do all have a purpose, but you have to find out what your purpose is outside of the box.
So I didn't mean to, my special purpose. Sorry.
So I think that's really helped me spiritually, is realizing this is my ministry.
Yeah.
Now there's stuff at the church that maybe at times I might be involved in. I might be, volunteer for a dinner or something, but I don't think I will ever have a ministry within a church again.
Yeah, but I think that, like, what you're saying is that the words ministry and the words purpose are synonymous with each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay that they're it's the same thing, but whenever
Mm-hmm.
we say the word ministry, it almost it's like a tainted word sometimes, because it
Yes.
makes us think that we're only allowed to have a ministry if, like, the church deems us worthy of
Yes.
having that ministry, or if we go through the proper steps or something. But it's like, well, yeah, but your ministry is nursing.
Yeah.
And you did go through the proper
I
steps.
did,
You went
exactly.
to school, and not only you have 2 college degrees, and you're
Yeah.
going to be working on your 3rd one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you definitely went down the proper.
Right.
And not just that, but in every, the Bible does say in everything in all things give thanks to God. Mm-hmm. So
Exactly.
if you're a nurse and you're nursing,
Mm-hmm.
nursing, okay, you're not nursing people at the hospital, right?
No.
That's not the proper word. If I shouldn't say nursing.
Caretaker.
If you're doing nursey things,
Yeah, there we go. That's
and you're
better.
doing it for God, then yeah,
Yeah.
it's your purpose. It's a ministry,
But-
and it does fulfill you. Like, you are right. It is the same thing for me. Whenever I do a show, and I go up and I feel a connection with the audience, and I feel like in that moment, like, we all come together, and we're all laughing together, because I still, it's the same stories a lot of times that I'm telling on stage, because I am new to comedy. I've only been doing it for a couple years now, so I have 35 minutes of material that I'm doing, and I interchange stuff, and I do a lot of talking to the audience and everything, but a lot of times I'm telling the same stories.
Right.
I still laugh at the stories. Like, whenever I'm
Yeah.
on stage and you hear me laughing or see me laughing, I'm really laughing because I'm remembering when Roman said that, or remembering
Right.
when these things happened to Holden or Jasmine or whatever. So the things are funny to me. So in that moment, like, when we're all laughing together, it's a unity thing, and I
Yeah.
do feel like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, bringing people together.
Yeah, and
For
I
joy
did.
and laughter, yes.
And there's been times that I have fought the idea of, should I be doing this? It's because it's not always easy. Like, it's not
Right.
easy to find work. It's not easy. And a lot of times you feel like you're pimping yourself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because we were at that show last night, and there's a guy who runs a mic in what'd I say, Dayton?
Yeah.
And I was like, so you're running the mic? And I was like, well, man, I'd love to come do it. And then you almost feel like gross, like almost like you're promoting yourself. You're being like,
Yeah.
hey, I can do that mic, man. I'd love to come do that. Come do that show. I hear great things about your club, which is all true. But it's like, I don't want to seem like needy, because I'm not needy. I've been very lucky. I'm getting shows, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I want more stuff, and I want to
Yeah.
branch out, and I want to meet
But
more
that's,
people.
that's putting in the work.
And it's weird. It just
Yeah.
feels weird to be like, I'm the guy that you want. I think that's why comics like eventually having like an agent
Yeah.
and a booker to like do that for them, so that way they don't feel like weird about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get what you're saying. I'd feel weird. That's why I like the path I went down, because I'm like, all I gotta do is take this test. Literally, unless I need help, I don't have to like put myself out there.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that's where, like, if I have a good video and I could submit the video to bookers, then they can see it and it just speaks for itself.
Yeah.
But still in the email, I have to be like, this is who I am. These are the things that I can do for you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But yeah, that's good. I'm glad we're both,
Yeah.
like, it's rare that we're both on, like, a good,
It's either or. Usually.
yeah, usually one
Yeah.
of us is kind of battling some stuff,
Yeah.
which is probably a good thing,
Right.
that we're not doing it, like, at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
Some balance in life.
yeah.
But yeah, I think, just focusing on our purpose is important. And I know we keep talking about spirituality and our and ministry and stuff. And I know not everyone who listens to this shares those same beliefs or opinions as us. But I think as a collective, we can all agree that everyone in this universe does have a purpose to be
Right.
here. And you might go to your regular 9-to-5 job. Maybe that's not your purpose, but maybe your purpose is every day when you get off work, you go to the same gas station. You are kind to that same clerk every single day, because maybe when they go home, that's the only kindness they had all day long was you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is your purpose, just to be kind.
Yeah. No, and I going back to, like, you know, we're bringing up a lot of religion. So we're not bringing up any religion. Mm-hmm. We're just saying these are the things that manifest the ideas in us.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that you buy into, you know, whether it's like the universe is one or energies or all that stuff, man, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know if we're right. We're just trying to get by. So whatever helps you get by, like, we're completely open to. As long as it just helps people and it doesn't hinder anyone or hurt anyone, let's all figure it out together. A cool way to bring people together, like a really cool way that show like a community, is the people that are important to us. Mm-hmm. That kind of show that we're a part of a community. Yeah. We're talking about the ultimate blessed ones.
That's right.
We're talking about our Patreon supporters.
Patreons.
If you go to patreon.com/laughandbeblessed, you can become a blessed one like our supporters.
So cultish.
It is.
Become a blessed one.
Become a blessed one. I just think it's fun to say.
We're even asking for money. We are cult leaders.
Oh, snap. I promise I will never try to have sex with anyone's spouse. Isn't that what? Only my own.
It's like, so does that mean if they're not married? I'm really confused.
That's not it. I just feel like that's where cult leaders mess up.
I wish I wish there was a camera to take a picture of the look I just gave you.
I wish that we could go back and not go straight from spiritual talk to being like, you should give us money.
But that's literally what we just did. We went from talking about your purpose, your spirituality, your purpose, become a blessed one in this universe and become a collective whole. Go to patreon.com and donate.
Yeah. So we're not a cult. We're just saying if you would like to help support the podcast, you can do so by going to patreon.com/laughandbeblessed. What does the money that they give us go to, though, Chia?
It goes to this mic.
Yeah, it goes to helping the show. It helps pay the bills.
Yeah, I guess we still need stuff like, I'm like, we got the mic, we don't need anything else.
No, like we still have the bills that we're paying for the podcast. And there's some more things that we do want to get. We want to get a mixing board eventually, and we are discussing we're going to build a studio. So that way it's not like right here at in our bedroom. So that's another thing that it goes to.
We'll have to go through another door to do this.
It's going to be great. So if you want to help us out, again, go to patreon.com/laughandbeblessed. There's 3 different ways to help out. There's a $3 tier, a $10 tier, and a $20 tier. And that's monthly donations to the show. And it's a very safe way of just helping out, just artists that you like. So if there's like YouTube artists that you like or other podcasts that you listen to, more than likely they also have a Patreon. So if you don't want to give to this show, but you want to give to other artists that you like a lot, by all means do that. I just like people supporting people just chasing their dreams. Yeah. So either way, we do want to say special thanks, though, to our Patreon supporters this month. And that would be Lindsay and Danielle, Rachel and Pam, Jared and Shan, and Fawn. Yay! You guys are fantastic. We love you so much. Amazing. And the cool thing is we get to see you guys at shows. That was another thing that I didn't mention about the Evansville show. Someone who listens to the podcast actually drove like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to come to the show to see us. Yeah. We were excited. Not just me, to see Chia too. Yeah. So Cheyenne, we love you. It was so good to see you.
It was good to see you. Sorry if I'm not like a very talkative person when I'm actually in a group of people. Turns out I am kind of weird when I meet new people, and I like.
She's a little shy.
I don't mean to be. I'm just like, I don't know what to say.
Cheyenne seemed like she was really shy too, though. To be honest,
care about what I say.
I had a lot of fun though, and honestly, we were kind of talking about it. If you guys want to go, because you live close to us, if you want to go get lunch or dinner or something sometimes with us, we'd love to do that. We had fun. Did you just
ask another couple out on a date through our podcast?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that weird?
How we do things.
Is it weird?
I mean, this is coming from the guy who got my phone number from his computer at work, so no.
So this is updated stalking.
There
right?
you go.
They were like, whoa. We kind of listen to your podcast. Don't make it weird. They're like, we listened to 2 episodes and now you're creeping us
friends.
out. Yeah. No, I just had fun. Like I had fun sitting there and talking and just cutting up. And I told them that. I was like, can we just do this instead of doing the show? Like I'm having fun doing this. So we should definitely do it again sometime.
Yeah.
So why do you always make me creepier than I feel like I am?
I mean...
Maybe I don't realize what a creep I am.
You're not a creep.
He's sweet. All right.
Sweet.
All right. Well, that brings us to topic of the show.
And now, time for tots. The topic of the show.
Oh, yeah. So topic of the show this week is a surprise to Chia.
It is.
I like doing
Everything's
these.
a surprise to me.
So because of what happened to us over the weekend on our drive home where it was like real spooky.
Yeah.
And it was very like supernatural-like.
Yes.
I decided that the topic this week is going to be...
Are we going to talk about Supernatural and the Winchesters?
Most haunted places in Indiana.
Ooh.
Right? You think that's a good one?
Why do we always come back to the spooky stuff?
Because we like it.
We do like spooky
We like it,
stuff.
so that's fine. So let's get started. So this is according to the Indy Star. So I pulled up an article from the Indy Star, and I think it's from October 19th, 2017. And like I said, I think it's from, and then just read it. So it is okay. From them. From them then. Them wrote it then. You know? So this is according to EMF ratings.
Ooh.
So EMF ratings, that's the thing that you see on like paranormal shows where they hold out the Ghostbusters thing and it's like it's like a you know what I mean? It's like a Geiger counter or something like that.
Like a what?
It's like a Geiger counter, isn't that what it's called? A Geiger counter?
I don't know what that is.
For like nukes and stuff.
Like
it's to see like
counting how many Geigers there are?
I know of at least 2 for sure that we're close to. So anyways, let's move past me not knowing words. Here's a fun fact. Most ghost hunters have been arrested at least once because they failed to contact the property owners or local authorities ahead of time.
Huh.
So for anyone out there who is, like a amateur ghost hunter, maybe make some phone calls first. We're looking out for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started.
The proper channels.
So there's 10 that we're going to go over, and then there's a couple bonus ones, all right? Do you think you can name any of them?
No.
You can't think of a single thing in Indiana that's haunted?
No.
Okay, cool. This is going to be fun then. So the first one is Hacienda Restaurant. So
a restaurant?
It's a restaurant.
Is it operational?
So this says once
I actually just thought of one.
What?
The hospital.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
Well, every hospital's probably haunted. Okay. Let's be real. So Hacienda Restaurant, once a private mansion, Hacienda Mexican Restaurant is rumored to be haunted by apparitions of those who used to live here. Some stories say one apparition belongs to a maid with whom the mansion's owner had an affair. Ooh. When the maid became pregnant, he shunned her, so she hanged herself in the attic. Other stories say the owner became one of the apparitions after he shot himself in the basement. Odd things have been reported, such as lights, electrical appliances, and water faucets working on their own.
Oh, I was going to say, I feel like someone put those things in there.
There's some weird stuff, dude. There's like all this. One day we were gone, we came back, and there was just a toilet in here, and it's like, well, yeah, we called the plumbers. Like they came in and they installed a bathroom.
So they're working on their own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just come on, which is always funny to me that it always seems like haunted houses are also houses who just have really bad electrical problems. Yeah. It's just like the lights keep flickering. It's like, well, check your wiring.
Building. Yeah.
It's like, that's not a ghost. Why do ghosts always go after the lights?
I don't know.
Why is lights easy to manipulate if you're dead?
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. So the Hacienda Restaurant is in Mishawaka, actually, which I was going to do a show in Mishawaka. It got postponed. Mm-hmm. I should be going back in the next couple months, and I'm going to see if Andy Beningo will go to this Mexican restaurant with me.
So, yeah, it's operational then.
I believe so. Okay. That's what it seems like it is, yeah. So that's number 10. Number 9 is Avon Haunted Bridge. Have you ever heard of this haunted bridge in Avon? I know I haven't.
No.
All right,
I feel like I have heard of a haunted bridge.
Yeah, I don't think it's this one, though.
Okay.
Let's give him a scary voice. Are you ready?
Do it. Spooky.
The Avon Haunted Bridge is a railroad bridge built in 1906. The legend goes a mother was walking with her baby on the tracks when they fell to their deaths. Locals would say every time you drove under the bridge, you had to honk to drown out the sound of the ghost of the mother's wails. Some locals still honk today. Is that a good voice?
Yeah, but does your throat hurt?
No, not at all.
No?
No, I didn't go in with it.
Oh.
I just held it.
I was going to say.
I held it. I held it in
That
the
was
back.
very impressive.
So that's Avon Haunted Bridge. That has Hacienda has an EMF rating of 83.6.
Okay.
I guess I should have said that. I don't know what that means. That could be out of 1,000.
High, is
Yeah.
that low?
I don't know what that means. So that's obviously in Avon.
Okay.
So also we're gonna go over these. If any of you know of any of these, if any of you have proof of these, or you've been through it, or have other ones, we want to know about it.
Tell us.
So there's a couple ways you can tell us. Number one, you can go to you can email us at Jake and Chia. That's JakeAndChia at gmail.com. So jakeandchia at gmail.com. You can email us there, or you can go to Jake Rubel's Blessed Ones on Facebook and just post in the group there. That's probably the easiest way that we will see, and then a lot of other people see it. So, or you could go to jakerubel.com and just click contact us there. And whatever way is easiest for you. We want to know. We like these. So if you have any like Indian haunting things. So, okay. So that was the haunted bridge. Number 8 is Whispers Estate. So
I've heard of whispers.
So I think so because it does say.
No, I have. I know I have.
I think you might be right. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
I got to go spook voice.
Okay.
Spooky time. Featured on some TV shows, the estate is said to be the site of many paranormal occurrences, including apparitions. Why do they keep saying apparitions? You know what I mean?
Are they ghost or apparitions?
Yeah. I'm just going to say ghosts. Including ghosts, voice phenomena, jiggling doorknobs, tremors. Now, tremors, that's not paranormal. That's a monster.
Yeah.
You know?
They're,
first of all, they're called grabloids. Grow up.
Well, what they're feeling is the tremors.
From the grabloids.
But they're from the...
Unexplained smells.
that.
Well, then our house is haunted. You know? Like, unexplained smells.
I'm like, why does it smell like feet in here?
Yeah, is it sulfur? Like, what are you smelling?
Do you know how often? Because
this is the
we-
the most farting house too.
Yeah.
You fart so much.
I do. Why do I pass
don't know.
gas so
Oh,
much? I'm so
shaking
gassy.
furniture and a vortex. Why did they say it like that? So, jiggling doorknobs, tremors, unexplained smells, shaking furniture, and a vortex.
What a vortex.
What is a vortex? Like a black hole? We come to Whispers Estates and be sucked into the black
a
hole.
vortex?
That's
I
what
feel like I
I'm
need to look up
wondering.
this definition.
So this is in Mitchell. So this is in Mitchell, Indiana. So this isn't a very far drive for us. I think we should go to some of these creepy things sometimes. You want to know why I don't want to do creepy things?
Why?
I'm scared it'll come back with us.
It will.
Like, I don't care to go see these places, but I don't want to, like, something to latch onto me and come back.
What was the EMF rating there?
84.4.
Oh, a vortex is just a mass of swirling fluid or air, especially a whirlpool or whirlwind.
Okay, so that's scary.
So, like
That would
little
be
mini
scary.
tornadoes?
Yeah, dude, you want to, like, that's the scariest haunting I could think of. Just tiny tornadoes. Like, what if it just picks the cats up? And all of a sudden you have a tornado just full of cats. It's catnado. I don't want a catnado in Whispers Estate. So that's in Mitchell.
Okay.
All right, so now we have number 7 is called Rhodes Hotel. You ever hear Rhodes Hotel?
No, I haven't heard.
All right.
Heard.
My ears have never been opened up to Rhodes Hotel, so I ain't real sure what you're speaking of. All right. The 1893 hotel, once patronized by John Dillinger, is rumored to be haunted by many spirits. So this is like a very popular place. Like, ghosts come here to hang out. It's not just like a spirit. It's like there's a
tourist
bunch.
spot.
Yeah, they're just like, let's all go hang out over here at Rhodes Hotel. Witnesses have reported shadows. Okay, so if there's a light, there's going to be a shadow. You know what I mean? Like, there's shadows in this room
kind
right
of
now.
shadows?
Exactly. Ugh. And apparitions of men, women, and children. Why not just say people?
Ghost
Men,
people.
women, and children. Like that's you covered it all. That's just people. Those are so they've just seen apparitions. Like now you're just trying to get
ghost.
you're trying to get a word count here, Indie Star. You're trying to get a higher word count in your article. As well as disembodied voices, footsteps. How could there be disembodied footsteps? Like a foot is a part of a body.
No, it's disembodied voices, comma, footsteps.
I did not read the comma. Lights that
I
work
can't
on their
even see
own.
it.
And doors that open and close.
Well, of course they close and they open.
Or even slam by themselves. I'm slowly becoming Macho Man Randy Savage on accident. Listen here, brother. I'm not meaning to do that.
I love it because this is how we watch scary movies too. We just criticize everything.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we sometimes want to actually do like a commentary on one, but Chia cusses too much. So... here's something that making a joke about the shadows thing. So this is Rhodes Hotel. It's got EMF rating of 84.9. This is Atlanta, Indiana. So I actually have seen
What's this one called? Oh,
Rhodes Hotel.
Okay.
I have seen. So we used to live in a haunted house, and not like a touristy haunted house. It was just a house that happened to be haunted at the time. And I was about to walk outside one day and I felt something kind of behind me, and I turned around and there was like a shadow of a person that was just standing there, and it almost looked like it could just be like my shadow if the sun was hitting just right. But the shadow turned away from me and walked away, and I didn't move.
Because clouds moved over the sun.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It could be. I'm not for or against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's possible. But I've definitely seen some weird stuff. All right, let's move on. So number 6 is James Allison Mansion. All right, so built from 1911 to 1913, the mansion is said to be haunted. Sources may be a little girl who was visiting and drowned in the basement pool, or James Allison himself.
Is there a pool in the basement?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And also it's like, it's said, they're like, the mansion is said to be haunted. Sources may be a little girl. So like, as the source that says it's haunted,
yeah.
like I thought that was a weird way of saying, like a little girl told me this place is haunted. I don't know, she's swimming in a pool and then she died. It's like, was she the ghost or did she tell you she was drowning? The little girl's apparition, ghost. Stop saying that. The little girl's ghost has been seen and witnessed. I messed up. The little girl's apparition has been seen, and witnesses also have reported voices in the attic. Objects that move
Did she
by
die
themselves.
in the basement or the attic?
Objects that disappear, and furniture that is rearranged. It's like, did my mom go there? You know, because she rearranges furniture all the time.
I'm still really
My
baffled
mom's
about
has
this
this on.
whole
Yeah, because it's like she
basement.
died in the basement, but I hear her in the attic.
But who has I feel like something shady was happening anyways if there's a pool in the basement.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So this has an EMF rating of 85, and that is in Indianapolis. All right, so Elkhart Civic Theater.
Is there Elkhart?
Or Bristol Opera House is what it's also called. All right. Well, here's the funny thing. I've not read any of this. I just pulled this up, and I've not read any of this yet. So
Okay.
this one's longer. I'm probably going to mess up lots of things, but then I'll just make it up.
So it's happening anyways.
I don't even have an article in front of me. I'm just making all this stuff up as I go. The Elkhart Civic Theater, housed in an 1897 building, is said to be haunted by ghosts who send books and papers flying off shelves, levitate small objects, run sewing machines, and project moving shafts of light. Shadows.
Why is there sewing machines in a theater?
That's what I was just thinking. Well, maybe for like costume design and stuff like that.
Oh, see, I'm thinking like movie theater. It's probably like theater.
Well, it says Bristol Opera House as well. So an opera house, that would be like a theater.
I guess that's true.
You know? Also, shadows and an apparition of a floating dark-haired woman have been seen by both... Okay, if it's a shadow, of course it's going to be dark-haired. You know, you ever seen any blonde shadow people? Like, they're not out
There's
there.
a shadow person with bright red hair.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't really happen very often. Oh man. dark-haired woman have been seen by both staff members and theater guests. Staff members claim to have been grabbed by a ghost when no one else is around. So, obviously, the claim is false. Percy, a.k.a. Percival Hilbert, stupid name, is the name of a ghost. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Percy. I don't want to be chased by that ghost. Could you imagine if a ghost named Percy just lived in our house? And he's just like, all right, Percy, shut up. Oh, man, I grew up in a house and Dad said that there was a ghost named Alice who lived there. I forgot.
Alice?
I literally forgot until just this moment. So
That's really creepy.
I need to talk to my mom and dad about that. Percy is the name of a ghost believed to reside here. He was a handyman who lived in the basement, another basement, with his wife and 2 daughters after they were evicted in the Depression era. His spirit is said to manifest as moving shafts of light. He is also believed to have turned up in a photo during a ghost hunt. Yeah, right.
Oh.
I don't know. I guess that's true. I have seen some photos of
I was going to say, there's a picture of one of my previous coworkers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And some creepiness going on behind him. And it's kind of blurry, but it looks like a person, an apparition behind him.
Yeah, so that is in Bristol. So not Elkhart, which Elkhart and Bristol is probably like right next to each other. I don't know. But that has an EMF rating of 85.7. So we're cruising. We're cruising. Here's one that's surprising, and you're going to be shocked at this one.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Are you ready? French Lick Springs Hotel.
Okay. Why would that surprise me?
Because it's like the French Lick, hotel, like the resort. Like it's a historic place in French Lick.
Is that where everybody goes when they go to French Lick?
I think so. I don't know. I know there's like a casino. There's probably a couple places, but this was surprising to me. I thought you'd be more shocked.
Oh my God, I'm so surprised.
Thank you.
Place?
You know why you should be surprised of it?
Why?
This historic resort hotel complex. What a weird
complex.
What a weird way of me saying it just now. This historic resort hotel complex. It's I kind of have a historic resort complex. I'm sorry. This historic resort hotel complex is said to be, I still said it weird. This place is said to be haunted by former owner Thomas Target. Target? Taggett. It's Taggett. It's Taggett. Why am I such an idiot? All right. Former owner Thomas Taggett, who lingers around the service elevator as mists and phantom tobacco smells. This is just co-workers. Okay, let me just say this again. It says that the complex is said to be haunted by former owner Thomas Taggett, who lingers around the service elevator as mists and phantom tobacco smells.
So meaning
this is coworkers that are smoking inside, and whenever their boss comes up to them, and they're like, "What are you doing?" They're just like, "Oh, I think it was a ghost."
Look at this. Mist. Why does it smell like tobacco?
I had no idea that
mist, or what we often refer to as smoke.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay.
It hurts a little.
He is said to expert.
Who said Mr. Taggett?
I'm saying Taggett, and it's Taggart.
Let me look at it.
It's Taggart. Taggart.
Taggart.
Yeah, it's Taggart. Yeah, it's Taggart. Taggart is said to expertly operate the elevator from beyond when the place gets busy. So, the elevator has problems. It works on its own.
So, someone gets in and they need to go to the 4th floor. They accidentally hit the 2nd. They said, "Oh shoot, I meant the 4th."
And it still goes because he's just like, "I got you. I'm an expert."
No, they hit the 4th, but it stops at the 2nd randomly because they already hit that button.
You didn't make sense.
Yes, I did.
He is also said to appear riding a horse in the ballroom or down the halls. So, this guy partied.
Is this Hogwarts? I'm really confused.
Yeah, no, if this
Headless Hunt?
I want to go to if there's a ghost just And I picture, and the article doesn't say this, but I feel like he's not wearing any clothes. You know?
Why did you jump to that?
Because if you're just a guy who smells like tobacco smoke riding a horse down a hallway, you're not sober, therefore you don't have clothes on. So this is a drunk, old, rich ghost rolling around naked on a horse.
It's safe to assume, then, every time you got drunk, you just ran around butt naked the entire time.
No, but every time that I was drunk riding a horse down a hotel room hallway, I would have been naked. You know, every time. You don't wear clothes.
You're throwing caution to the wind, you just throw it all.
It's exactly. You just throw them pants right off. Oh, and he holds ghostly parties that the staff have heard through closed doors when no one else is in the ballroom, which means that the owners are throwing a party and didn't invite the employees. They're just like, well, no, I didn't hear anything. There's a party? I didn't hear it at all. Oh, a red stain is said to appear in a guest room bathtub where a bride committed suicide, and the cleaning staff claim the whole 6th floor is haunted by shadows, breezes, footsteps, disembodied laughter, and ghosts who call the front desk from unoccupied rooms.
So prank calls, we got ventilation issues to where the laughter is carried from other floors and the breezes come through. There's some lighting issues because of the shadows. So
also a ghostly African American. Why do they have to say that? A ghostly African-American bellhop has been shown up in photos of the bellhop stand.
Were they like an old white dude, yeah, or the white cleaning?
Yeah. They're just like, by the way, this ghost was an African-American. But they don't have to say that. So that's in French Lick. They have an 86.1 EMF rating, and I don't know if the EMF rating. I'm speaking to you. I don't know if the EMF rating picks up ghost horses. You know,
so it might be higher.
Also, if there's a ghost horse, like, why don't you ever see ghost dogs or ghost cats or anything? Like, does the ghost human have to be like, no, ghost horse, you come with me? It's like the only way that the animal. Attached. So they're just attached. What did he do to that poor horse? Did they have to die? Yeah, that's what I said. Did they have to die at the same time? I smell shenanigans. That's all I'm saying. All right, number 3. We need to get moving. Number 3 is Finch Cemetery. The late 1800s. Finch Cemetery at the Jay County Conservation Club is said to hold the grave of a boy named Cinderella.
Oh, well, no
it's like, yeah, you know, I would 100% haunt my parents.
Let me see the name so I know you're really saying it right.
No, it's Cinderella. Oh, Steven. Okay. Yeah, if I was named Cinderella, you're all getting haunted, just a heads up.
Who did that?
Rumor has it that the gravestones here shift or disappear. If you count the gravestones on the way to Cinderella's grave, you will count 13. But on the way back, there are only 11. So you took a different path back.
Right.
You know, it's like or they're just, you can't see it. They're in front of the other ones. You just,
right.
You just can't see it. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I kind of want to go test this one out.
Oh, I do too.
So this is in Portland.
Okay.
I don't even know where Portland, Indiana is. Never heard of Portland, Indiana. So that's an 86.4 EMF rating. That one sounds kind of cool. Like, graveyards are creepy, but yeah, like, but
we're going during the daytime.
Check it out. Number 2, St. Mary's College, Le Mans Hall, or Le Mans. Le Mans, is it Le Mans? Le Mans? Le Mans class. Sure. A scary apparition of a girl hanging from a noose. Technically, all apparitions, or they're all gonna be scary.
Right.
You know, like, even if a ghost popped up that was serving me ice cream, I'm gonna be like, dude, you're scaring me.
Yeah.
But I'll take some strawberries. You know what I mean? This scary ghost of a girl hanging from a noose has been witnessed at the Le Mans Hall bell tower. Legend has it that she committed suicide in that very spot years ago. Also, the infirmary on the 4th floor is said to sport blood stains resulting from a girl's death. To sport blood stains?
Sport?
Who wrote this? You know? It said to sport
blood.
blood.
That one doesn't sound that interesting.
Yeah, I don't care about that one. So that's in Notre Dame.
Yeah. Okay.
But it has an EMF rating of 87. So supposedly a lot of people have seen this girl hanging from the bell tower. That would be kind of creepy to see.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I almost said that'd be kind of cool to see, but it wouldn't be cool. I'm not going to be fun. This next one, I've never heard of this.
Is this number 1?
This is number 1, but then there's a couple bonus ones, which is like, why didn't you just say there's 20? You know what I mean?
Is there that many extras?
I don't know how many there are. I'm just saying. I haven't read this article. So this is number 1. This is Zion United Church of Christ Cemetery. Okay? I'm going to read it, but the location is really what's going to surprise you.
Okay. Are you sure this time?
I'm pretty sure, because it was surprising to me. The spooky sort what is this even? The spooky sort love Zion Church Cemetery. What?
The spooky sort love.
There's no comma. There's no.
But that's what they're trying to say.
I got you.
Yeah. The spooky sort of people love to go to this cemetery.
So I feel like that was a weird way of wording it.
For sure.
Okay. Weirdos love Zion Church Cemetery. I'm sorry. All right, I'll try again. Gothic teenagers love Zion Church Cemetery, say locals. The area is a hotspot for unexplained lights and sounds, ghostly whispers, eerie sensations, and the feeling of being watched. Some say a helpful ghost is known to leave the cemetery to stop cars and tell folks to turn back if they get too close to the cursed ground. That sounds pretty cool, right? Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it's close.
So this is an EMF rating of 87.5, which makes it sound like it's pretty legit, right?
Yeah.
City?
Yeah.
Poland.
Oh.
Yeah, this is in Bowling Green, Poland. This is Bowling Green, Poland Road.
That's where you're from.
I'm from Poland, Indiana.
Whoa.
I've never heard of this. I need to go check it out. There was a time, though, when I was little that I was running through the graveyard next to Horseman's Campground. And it was me and the kid who lived next door to me and a couple of his cousins. And it was really dark out, and we were running through the graveyard. And one of us fell in a grave, an open grave. Now, this is an old graveyard. They don't bury people here anymore. Super, super old. No one goes there. The weeds are super tall and stuff. And someone fell in an open grave. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we all got, really freaked out by it, ran home. And they had, they said it was blood. I don't think it was blood on them. But whenever we went back, there was no open graves. Whenever we went back in the daytime, there was no graves that were open. Yeah, but there was always a lot of people who said that there was Satanists who lived out there. So people were like, yeah, they probably just dug up the graves for the bodies. And I'm like, I don't think that's the way Satanists work.
Yeah.
I think they want new ones.
I don't even know if that was ever
no, that's not a real thing. Yeah, I don't. Oh, maybe I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So this is one we got to go check this out. We're out there all the time. So yeah, we'll that's one. Okay, so this is one. I'm not going to do the creepy stuff for all these. I'm just going to go through them because these are the bonus ones, all right? Okay. So there's, have you ever heard her? Hello, Chia. I'm your husband, and I will speak to you now very clearly. Have you ever heard of the Carolina Street Demon House?
No. So
this is in Indianapolis. But the EMF rating is only 79.5, so it's not as high as the other ones. But it's one of the most famous haunted houses in Indiana. It's in Gary, Indiana, actually. I said Indianapolis, didn't I?
You did.
It's in Gary, Indiana,
sorry. Quite a bit further up.
Yeah, so the house was said... Whatever, I can do the voice. The house was said to be haunted by more than 200 demons. Witnesses have reported levitating children, swarms of flies that mysteriously appear in winter, footprints, and... our favorite word, apparitions. The demons were believed to have possessed the 3 children of the family who lived. 3 children? Come on, that's scary. I don't like that. And caseworkers, priests, and police called to the scene all testify to the story. However, reports say that the family doctor visited and determined the children were mentally unsound and simply putting on a performance, and their mother, Latoya Amons, had put up many religious shrines inside the home.
I wonder why the kids were in
I said home real weird because I said house and home together, so it was like home. The children were taken to child services. Zach Baggins... That's what it says. Bagans. Baggins. It's got to be. Zach Baggins of Bag End. I just to say that. I forgot. That part I made up. Zach Baggins of TV's Ghost Adventures purchased the house. After filming a documentary, he had the home. Again, it was house. And it's house this time. He had the house demolished. So it's like he filmed a documentary and then he's just like, all right, tear it down. I don't want no one else being able to do what I just did. We need to watch that documentary.
Prove it.
All right, so here's some more bonuses. Hotel Attica. A glowing apparition has been seen in several hotel rooms late at night or in the early hours of morning. Guests have reported seeing their closet doors open and close by themselves. Yeah, because the people who work there are creeps and they're watching you as you sleep. And there's like hidden doors. So that's the EMF rating of 82.9, and that is an Attica. Tunnelton Tunnel. This is the one I think you were thinking of whenever you're talking about the bridge. The apparition of a man who was decapitated during the tunnel's construction has been reported. Many folks say he appears to be searching for his head. How original. One rumor states that there's a graveyard atop the tunnel, and during its construction, some of the bodies fell through into the tunnel. Another legend tells of a ghost family killed long ago when their horse and buggy crashed into the river down the hill. Witnesses says that's more than one. That's more than one witness. Plural of witness is witnesses. So witnesses,
Jake,
all of them say
get on with it.
They have heard the family's screams. I felt like that was like anticlimactic because I screwed up the last word so much. So that's in Bedford.
Okay.
So that's an 82. Bombs Bridge Inn. This inn is reported to be home to an apparition. Come on, guys. Surrounded by dim light. He is said to appear around midnight and may be a bit shy. Like, that's what I like to... I like my ghosts to be a little bit shy. Go on. Rumor has it that if you look at him too long, he will become enraged and appear in front of you in a split second.
Quit staring at him. He's shy. Leave him alone.
Yeah, that's like... Yeah, he's shy. But it says that he'll become enraged and appear in front of you in a split second. That's terrifying. Well, out of everything I just read, that's the scariest thing. Like, whenever we watch scary movies and the ghosts move, like, real fast and all of a sudden they're, like, right in front of you, that terrifies me because I'm slow.
I just felt bad for the guy.
That's an EMF rating of 81.8, and that's in Couts. Never heard of it. So the Hannah House.
Whoa.
Yeah, in Indianapolis. This is a Hannah House. So that's okay. Some of the ghosts at this historic house are said to be hidden slaves, one of whom accidentally tripped over a lamp, igniting a fire. Those killed were said to be buried in the very cellar where it happened. Witnesses have described a lot of activity in the cellar, including apparitions of slaves, moans and groans, and cold spots. Former owner, Mr. Hannah himself, also has been seen upstairs on the balcony, and an older woman's apparition has been seen here as well. I don't think it's the same Hannah House we're thinking of.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So that's EMF rating 81.5. That is in Indianapolis. Indiana Central State Hospital. The 1948 Indiana Hospital for the Insane turned into the Central State Hospital in 1926. It is said to be haunted by many patients who suffer abuse here. Well, suffered, because it was before. They suffered abuse here in the hospital's dark past. Witnesses have described shadows, apparitions, women's screams, electrical devices that turn on and off by themselves, unexplained noises, footsteps, and moans.
Well, it was, built in the 20s?
Yeah, so there's going to be electrical issues.
Right. Oh
1848.
We have to say 1920s now.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
we are
Well, it was
living
built. It was 1848 whenever it was an insane institution, and then it was in 1926 whenever it was turned into an actual hospital.
Gotcha.
And that's so what I said. That's Indianapolis. That's 80.3 EMF rating. Rockport Inn. This inn was built in the 1850s as a private home and was one of the first buildings in the area to have glass windows. Ooh la la. It is rumored to have been part of the Underground Railroad. It's also rumored to have a ghost.
Not an apparition this time.
Like, they're just like, this place has a ghost. Next. An apparition of the wife of an owner is said to walk the halls, seen and heard by both guests and employees for many years. EMF rating 79.5. That is in Rockport. I'm going to skip through some of these because you are getting bored, Chia.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. I see you're getting pretty bored. So we're going to move down to, okay, here's one. Step Cemetery. You've heard of this one.
I've heard of this
So I was surprised you didn't say this one.
Okay. Well,
Small Step Cemetery has about 25 graves and has roles in many local legends. From its founding by cult members to a grieving mother who committed suicide after losing her baby. Her apparition, according to witnesses, appears dressed in black and crying over the baby's grave. EMF rating 72.3. That is in Martinsville, Indiana. I have friends who have gone to Step a lot.
Yeah.
I never went because it creeped me out.
Has anything ever happened while they were there?
One of my friends, allegedly, they went there. They went to the stump because the lady's supposed to be sitting on a stump or something like that. So they went to like the stump where she's supposed to be. Said some stuff. I don't know what they did there. I'm sure they were jerks about it. And then started hearing things, and they got like a really eerie feeling. So they went to leave, and as they were leaving, their back glass shattered.
Oh.
So, and like nothing, like a rock or anything didn't go through. There was nothing in there, but they said that their back glass shattered. So but again, that could be like one of those things. Okay, so here's one in Fortville.
Okay.
This is called the Ivy House. Built in 1921 by Dr. Jess E. Farrell. The Ivy House bed and breakfast is said to have a haunt that came with the purchase of an antique piano. The owners say the instrument brought with it a ghost who makes the non-musically sounds of banging and footsteps. So this is a person who just never learned to play the piano and then died before they were good at it. So now they're just like, all right, fine, no one's going to like it. I could never play this thing. Now you're all going to hate it. So that's a 68.8. That's in Fortville. The Slippery Noodle Inn, I guess, is haunted. That's in Indianapolis. Indianapolis Athletic Club.
Huh.
That's again, Indianapolis. So that's the most haunted places in Indiana. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I like the voice.
I like it too.
Maybe you could do a voice next time. Give me your creepy voice.
I literally can't.
Oh, that's scary. Stop it. No, stop. Seriously, we have to end the podcast.
Regular voice.
All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Laugh and Be Blessed. We love everything about you, specifically, especially all the hauntings that you believe in. Or don't. Again, if you have any even if you're not in Indiana, we just like creepy stories like that.
Yeah.
So if you want to tell us a ghost story that has happened to you that you've witnessed or whatever, email us or join our Facebook group. Let us know there. Jake Rubel's Blessed Ones. And we'd just love to hear it. So thank you for everything you guys do. Please leave us a review. It'll take a couple seconds. Just leave us a review and let other people know that, hey, this guy is an idiot. No, don't say that. Be nice. All right, we love you guys very much. Have a great week. We will see you next week. We won't see you, and you won't see us, but by golly, you're going to hear us next week. So just remember,
Laugh and be blessed.